Well, I'm standing out here in my backyard. Wanted to bring you a little bit different of a video this week. I want to take us back to where this project started. 15 years ago, Jan and Dave created a video when they first acquired the aircraft. And it was, many of you have probably seen this. I go watch it every once in a while. Pardon the airline noise. I live right in the flight path for Salt Lake International. Anyway, this video is what inspired me. I'd known Jan and Dave for 10 years or so before they'd acquired the aircraft, and it was what inspired me to do what I could to help out with the project. So I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you after.
My name's Dave Franck. I'm an aviation mechanic, pilot, and restore World War II airplanes. I own Aircraft Restoration Corporation. We rebuild small turboprops and light jets. I've always had an interest in airplanes since I went to school in LA at Northrop Institute of Technology. From there I went to work on the B-1 bomber. I've always been fascinated with World War II bombers and fighters. They have a sound, they have a feel, they have a smell that is second to none. My a partner is from Australia. He's always been looking for World War II airplanes, whether it's a bomber or cargo airplanes. He just wanted a World War II airplane that we could rebuild and put back out on the circuit and go fly the airplane. This is a Douglas A-26 Invader. It was built in 1944. It's a light bomber, light attack bomber. It has, the nose is missing now, but it has 8 guns on the nose and a cannon. Has guns in the wings, and it has a bomb bay here that's locked up. It carries 8 500-pound bombs.
When Dave first approached me about getting an airplane like that, I thought, well, this is going to be an interesting thing. What are we going to do with a big thing like that? I mean, that's a pretty big airplane. And it will require a lot of work, a lot of head scratching, and it's going to be a challenge.
The airplane arrived in May of 2011. We had a semi-trailer with the fuselage on. We moved that off, put it in the hangar here. We then brought the wings in on the semi-trailer, lifted those off. The engines came on the next trailer with the tail section, the vertical, horizontal stabilizer, the engines, propellers, cowlings, landing gear, tires, wheels, all these different things.
My contribution to the airplane is one of refurbishment, helping to engineer whatever parts it needs and such like that.
It is a big jigsaw puzzle right now, and people look at us like we're crazy, like, how are you going to put this thing together? And we know that we can do it.
The generations coming up see their worlds much differently than the guys that got here before them, and much of it is lost to them. And to keep the machines alive and going, and the other one to help show the younger generations what was brought before them to get them to, or to have them have the lives that they've got now because of some of this equipment. We'd like to share that with the younger generations to show them that there indeed was importance to these things, and that we'd like to preserve that.
What we want to do is clean it out, make sure there's no corrosion, there's no damage to the airplane, reassemble it, put the engines back on, put the propellers back on, overhaul the landing gear. We're going to overhaul the airplane from the front to the rear and top to the bottom. And then we're going to take it out and run it. We're going to get it in with the air groups that give rides on airplanes, B-17s, the B-24s. There's a B-29 that's flying in Midland, Texas, called Fifi. Those guys get on those circuits and they will give rides to people. And we just want to be a part of that program to show people that we're supporting the air crews of the wars, the different wars that this airplane was involved with, and try and get those guys involved and see if they want to be a part of what we're doing here. not done so much on a restoration level as just come in and let's talk about it, tell us your stories. And we've seen a lot of people who are very interested in just being a part of what the history of the airplane is.
Right now, a lot of the work that's being done is done by volunteers. People will come in because there are a number of people who do have a desire to work on a piece of history like this. Admittedly, they're all mostly older guys.
This type airplane was used in World War II in Europe and in the Pacific, also in Korea extensively, the Bay of Pigs, and in Vietnam. So it's one of the only bombers in the Air Force arsenal that has seen all three.
The airplane was built in 1944 by Douglas Aircraft Corporation.
It was cost $252,000 at that time to build this airplane in 1944 dollars.
The airplane was finished at the end of November, and by the time January 1945 came around, I was told that it had 8 hours of flight time on it, and the Army Air Force at the time decided that they no longer needed this serial number, and subsequently turned it into the civilian registry for disposal.
It never saw any service because the war was coming to an end. Went to Tucson and set for 3 years. The government had stricken the airplane from their records and put it out for salvage. It sold for $2,500 to Standard Oil. So that's quite a difference. The airplane was moved from Tucson to Van Nuys, California.
They demilitarized the airplane, took out all of the war equipment that was in it, and then subsequently had it modified for executive transport. And I believe that Standard Oil took possession or bought the airplane and then operated it for the next 20 years.
They flew it for 6,000 hours, and it retired. They retired the airplane in 1968. At that point, it went back into storage, ended up in Chicago, where a man from Washington bought the airplane and moved it to Washington, where he was going to restore it and bring it back to its original configuration, just like we're doing. He had an accident and died. The airplane was disassembled, moved to Arlington, Washington, where it sat for another 5 years. We picked it up from there, moved it to Provo, Utah, where we will restore the airplane here.
Well, this is going to be a pretty massive project. The first thing right now is inventorying all the parts, what we've got, cleaning them up, inspecting them, refurbishing where we can, replacing what we need to, and then getting the airplane and all these big parts into fixtures and jigs and such like that, so we can move them around and get easier access to work on them.
The engines are Pratt & Whitney R2800s. They're 2,000 horsepower each, and they are very thirsty. These engines will use 100 gallons each per hour in a high cruise configuration. So the engines have just been overhauled, and they are in very good shape. Propellers have just been overhauled. The control surfaces on the airplane have all been overhauled. We are in a very good position now to start assembling the airplane once we get to a point where we can expand our hangar and move everything out of the way so we can start the assembly.
We did get microfilm rolls, and we did get an erection and field maintenance manuals that shows us a lot of the detailed parts and what they are, where they go, and basically how to put it together. So that's all good. It will still be a challenge even with these books, but yes, we do have those books, so that's good.
We've got a lot of talent in Utah here that we can draw on with people who have assembled airplanes, who have background in World War II airplanes, and we intend to draw that expertise and those talents to help us build this airplane.
There's going to be a lot of interior work to the thing, control cabling, electrical, of course interior work, seats and such like that. The work is going to be pretty extensive in terms of getting this thing back on its wheels and looking like the airplane that it used to be.
This airplane, along with B-17s, B-24s, B-25s, they were built, there was 2,500 of these airplanes built, of the A-26. It's one of the only attack bombers that there was in World War II. It had all roles. It was a bomber, and it was also an attack airplane. This airplane was faster in cruise than the Mustang. It was a little racer. I think that's what they called. That was a nickname for the airplane. It would outrun the Mustang. The Mustang was the foremost fighter of World War II and Korea. You just couldn't beat it. But the A-26 would actually go faster and carry it carried a bomb load. As airplanes had developed through the war, would carry almost as much as a B-17 with a 3-man crew rather than a 10-man crew. So they were developing, even at the beginning of the war, they were starting to develop B-29, which was the airplane that actually ended the war, carried the atom bomb to Japan. But the A-26 is a smaller airplane. It's about the size of a B-25, which is a more popular airplane because they just built more of them and it entered service earlier. The airplane was a night fighter in Korea and in Vietnam. They changed or modified the airplane to what they call a Special K or a K model B-26 in Vietnam. And it had bombs, rockets, it had a lot of the turrets on the top and the bottom, guns in the nose. It was heavily armored, and it still only had a 3-man crew. Had only one pilot. It's a lot of airplane to fly for one guy to be taking care of everything. Had a navigator, radio operator, a bombardier, and a lot of those guys took a lot of those positions. The guy in the back ran the turrets and the bomb bays, the guy in the front flying, and then either bombardier, navigator, radio operator. Carried 8 500-pound bombs or incendiaries, several incendiaries, and it had the 8-gun nose, or it had a cannon in the nose, and it had 6 guns in the wings, plus the 2 turrets, the turrets on top, 50 caliber turret on the top and the bottom. So it was heavily armored, and it started putting hard points on the wings to carry external stores. So it'd actually carry bombs and rockets on the wings. This airplane would carry more and go faster, and I believe that if the war had gone on, if they would have built 15,000 of these airplanes, it probably would have been the best bomber in the era of 1944.
And I think that it's going to be a very worthwhile project. Be a lot of labor, no doubt about it. But I think once it's all done, it'll be something that we really could be very proud of.
This airplane could have a potential life of 100 years or more. There's a DC-3 flying right now with 80,000 hours on the airplane, built in 1940, that is as good as new.
At the moment, Dave and I are essentially the only ones who are involved full-time with the airplane. We do have people come in on occasion, but we would like to open it up to anybody else who has a desire to come in. I guess you could say it could be a community involvement project. It would be a project whereby we would like to share with the younger generation the facts of what the airplane is, and get anybody involved who has a desire to want to put hands on the airplane to get it back into flying status.
If there was somebody out there who actually flew this airplane from Standard Oil or in World War II who has experience on the A-26, we'd really like to talk to you. If you have an experience with other airplanes in B-17s, B-29s, B-25s, we want to make you a part of this airplane. We want to bring people together so that they can look at this and be a part of what their history was. There's so many valuable stories. There's so many people out there who have experience locked away in their minds that they don't know, that once they get around it, they actually open up and they'll talk to us. We've had so many experiences of people walking in here and doing that.
Well, obviously, we were all a lot younger then, and learned a lot about A-26s, been able to visit other A-26 groups, even ride an A-26. we're coming into the final stretch of this epic restoration. I hope you enjoyed the video. I think it was absolutely stellar. And I hope you'll follow along as we get through this restoration. Next week, we'll see what Duncan Aviation did to the airplane. So stand by and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for watching.